Hey, how's it going, you guys? Petplatypus here. Time to review Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, Stardust Crusaders, Egypt Arc, episode 36, I believe. So yeah, episode 36. This episode is kind of mixed for me. It's not as good as the stuff with Darby. It's not even as good as the setup episode with Darby, because that actually had stuff going on with like Joseph and everything. This was essentially Hull Horse and Dio, and then Hull Horse and Boingo, though they have to call him something different for copyright reasons. Hull Horse and Boingo team up to fight our main characters, and we get a little bit of stuff with Dio in the beginning. But yeah, in terms of animation, it was fine, as always. Good animation, as Jojo always has. The pacing was actually fine, and the story progression, though, that's where there's a bit of a problem. But I guess I'll just kind of summarize. We got Hull Horse and Dio, and he's like thinking, oh, maybe Dio's not as tough. You know, I think I can take this guy on. He can't be that much stronger than me or anything. Foolish. You fucking foolish son of a bitch. No, you should know. Don't put that gun away. And Dio's just like, boom, behind him. He's like, you're really going to try and shoot me right now? Boom, just appears behind him. No idea how he got there. All these spider webs are still exactly where they were before, which, if there were spider webs all around like that, I would never be in that room, me personally, just saying. But, yeah, it's just like, how did he, like, can he teleport? Like, what the hell's going on? Is that, what is the ability of the world? Or as they call it, Zawarudo. And, yeah, and it's a nice beginning to the episode. It's like 6 whole minutes before the actual opening starts, which is kind of crazy. But, I mean, it's cool, it's intense, it's well animated. I like that beginning part. We get hints to Dio's abilities. And then we get him on a plane. He goes, he's going to try and fight them because he's like, yeah, I can't beat Dio. I'm going to go do his bidding. We got Boingo, and he's scared of him. And there's some comedic elements here, and it's not that I don't want to see any more comedy in Stardust Crusaders, it's just that I feel like we got so much of it all at once that it just kind of got annoying. But we're getting into a little bit more comedy here, but it's not as overly over-the-top comedic. But we did not need that long of a re-explanation of how his abilities work with making predictions. I guess it was to show Hull Horse, but it just felt so long and elaborate, kicking that chick in the back of the head. And, you know, the scorpion and everything, it was cool. I mean, you know, the prediction made sense once it was all said and done. But I don't think we needed that long of a reintroduction to this guy's abilities. We know what his book can do. Then we have them over with, you know, the main characters. And the new prediction is, stick your fingers up Polnareff's nose and they're all just going to explode in blood or some shit. And he's like, how? No, what the fuck? That's impossible. Your book is absolutely insane. And, what do we end up seeing is Polnareff ambushes him. Not only ambush, but he catches him. He's able to stick his fingers up his nose. And that's pretty much where the episode ends. So all that happened in this episode are hints to Dio's abilities. The main characters are nowhere closer. I mean, they are closer to Dio's mansion, but they don't know that. Hull Horse has teamed up with another character, and they've just barely engaged the group at the very end of the episode. So, I mean, it's... Story progression's very weak, subpar for story progression, honestly. Nothing really happened in this episode other than a couple of small things. And, you know, and this episode is taking, like, multiple chapters and putting them together. There are One Piece episodes that do one chapter at a time that have more story progression than this one episode. And fucking, like I said, One Piece, one chapter at a time per episode, sometimes less. And I still feel like there's more going on, just slower paced. So honestly, this episode, I'd probably have to give it like a 6.5 or like a 6 out of 10. Like, it's, you know, I don't even know, like an average episode of JoJo. Nothing really bad, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't need to watch this episode. I'll just, like, wait till next week and I'll watch both together and it'd probably be a better experience. It's not, like, totally skippable. That stuff at the beginning with Dio is good, but I don't know, it's okay. The comedy was actually kind of fine in this episode, but I don't know. Just really didn't do it for me as a whole. I've never really cared for Hull Horse too much. He's okay, I guess. Seeing him shoot off that dude's ear was kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to talk about this episode. It's hard to like find things to talk about because almost nothing happened in it. So I'll probably just give it like a 6 out of 10. Average to slightly above average due to its obvious amazing animation and everything. But even then, that's par for the course for JoJo. So I don't even want to say that's like an over, you know. If the animation was like, holy shit, like that's even better than standard JoJo, then I'd be like, okay. But since it's just standard JoJo animation, which is really, really good, I can't really praise it too much. So I'll probably just give it like a 6 out of 10. Stardust Crusaders, the Egypt arc, has really been disappointing me as a whole. Like, Anubis was great, Geb was great, even Mariah was pretty damn funny, but Elise and Oingo and Boingo Part 1 and this new part, they're just not doing it for me. And Darby was cool too, but I don't know. I was hoping for a lot more from the final arc, they're in Egypt now, and you'd think the stand users would be a huge threat, and only a couple of them have been. But we'll see what happens from here on out. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys thought of this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in the comments below. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.